Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, it is TGIL. It's Friday, people. It is Friday, and we are back once again with the Homemade Podcast Sports. I told you guys, man. I told you guys that I was coming, okay? I was going to come back, and when I came back, that I was going to come really, really hard. All right? I need you guys to believe in it. You know, I was not bullcorning with any of you guys, man. But anywho, on this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports, we'll be getting into who will be the starting cornerbacks for A&M's 2022 season. And what freshman will emerge as the star? Who will emerge as the star? You know, because we want to know. Us A&M fans want to know. People around the world, they want to know. So we have to really, really see what's going to happen. Who will be the starters, all right? Who will have that freshman impact? Who? The world is watching. The college football world is watching, all right? So just to let you guys know, these podcasts will be going up at officially 1:15 p.m., Monday through Friday. Now, if anything changes, of course, you will see, the podcast kind of, just push back to maybe like 1:30, 1:20, things like that. If I have to step out and do some things and, so forth and so forth. All right. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. And also, before I get on, start rambling here, you guys need to also know this here. Baseball season is underway. It is officially the opening day for Aggie baseball. Okay? Softball has already started. I believe softball is undefeated at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Aggie men's baseball is underway. For whatever reason, my mom calls me. She's done this 2 days straight now. She's called me at exactly 1:20 for 2 days straight. I have no clue why she does that. Mom, I love you to death, but she knows that I have a show to do, okay? So anywho, guys, SEC baseball power rankings. Let's look at it, okay? Let's go ahead and just take a little peep inside of here real quick before we just get on the rant. I told you guys, man, I wasn't only doing just football, okay? I'm going to do baseball as well, all right? Who is this? Pete O'Neal talking about Smoke Bowie. Must be talking about from yesterday. Okay. So this is what we're going to name, man. This is who they have. All right. This is who they have so far. Number 14, Mizzou. Those were the last ones in the conference. Number 13, Auburn Tigers. Number 12, Alabama Crimson Tide with a 32-26 record. Number 11 is Kentucky. Number 10 was South Carolina. Number 9 was Tennessee. Tennessee had a 50-18 record. And if I can remember that vividly, when we were at the spring game last year, A&M had to play Tennessee. If I'm not mistaken, man. And the only reason why I remember that is because I remember so many Tennessee fans in College Station that day. I'm like, man, where are they going? Tennessee. And I forgot all about the baseball season. So Tennessee was undoubtedly good last year. That will be the test in the SEC. Number 8 is Georgia. Number 7, this is who they have at number 7, Texas A&M. We were 29-27 last year. We have to be better than that. Number 6 was Florida. Number 5 was LSU. Number 4 is Arkansas. Arkansas is really, really good in baseball, people. I'm pretty sure you guys already know that. And if I'm not mistaken with the preseason rankings, Arkansas was up there. Number 3 is Mississippi State. Those were your national champions on last year. Number 2 is Vanderbilt. And number 1 is Ole Miss. Ole Miss is really good in baseball as well. But anywho, enough of that. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So what do we have at that cornerback position? All right, and I'm going to say it once again. What do we have at that cornerback position? We got a lot of playmakers. You know, if you guys did not know, we do have a couple of playmakers back there. One guy specifically that you guys seen emerge on the scene was Tyreek Chappelle. You know, so I don't have to really discuss him. Another guy that's really underrated, and he had got hurt in the spring game last year, is Deuce Harmon. But then again, I believe Deuce had got on the field just a little bit last year, if I'm not mistaken. I know for sure I saw him last year, but I did see at the spring game, Deuce Harmon did get hurt. He was in a walking boot, so he was out for a significant amount of time, man. It was either Deuce Harmon or it was another guy, but if I'm not mistaken, that was Deuce Harmon. All right, so this is the reason to why I asked this question. Because if you guys did not know, the thing that has been our weakness on defense for Texas A&M ever since we've been in the SEC, it hasn't been the run defense. It has been the cornerback position. Now, as you guys can see, we have undoubtedly, probably coming into the season, one of the best cornerback rooms in the country. All right. I'm gonna say it once again. We're probably going to have one of the best cornerback rooms in the country. Jack Miss in baseball is going to be a monster. Jack Moss, okay. Brandon's in the comments. He says that Jack Moss is going to be a monster, and I believe he will. And you know, I can't comment on everybody because I do not know the roster like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to really see these guys in action, and I have to learn who everyone is. If I just start jotting out names and start putting the grading behind them, then I will be lying to you significantly. All right, so I'm not going to do that. But Jack Moss, okay, since you said that, I will be watching. Once again, I have to really watch baseball. I'm not a big baseball fan, to say the least, but I will sit down. I will make it a certified sit down and watch baseball this year. I'm sorry. Because we have to get these sports up and rolling. Basketball, that's my secondary sport. After football goes off, of course. But baseball is always going to be my third. That is going to be my third sport that I'm going to sit down and watch. But I will be up to watch that and I'll learn those names, okay? So, back to what I was saying. So now, man, coming in, we have some explosive guys in that backfield, okay? Like I say, going into the 2022 season, we should have one of the best cornerback rooms in the country. To go along with one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country. Also, coming into the season, we should have one of the best running back rooms in the country. Quarterback room in the country. Man, we're stacked everywhere. Defensive line, that don't need to be said. That's self-explanatory, okay? So, this is the thing. This thing that nobody talks about. A&M had their highest passing defensive ranking in the last decade. This is where A&M was ranked in pass defense. And this is what had me so excited about this season, and this defense held their own the entire season. I just wish the offense could have matched that defense intensity. And this is the reason to why we got Bobby Taylor, Smoke Bowie, Marquise Kilgrew, what's my other cornerback name? Jacoby Matthews. This is the reason to why we got all these guys in the defensive back position. Our pass defense this year was ranked at number 17 in the country. And this is with all games being played. This is no COVID year, no nothing like that. That's the best pass defense we have had in the last 10 years. And you guys can go and look at the stats, everything. And I'm going to tell you something. In the 2012 year, which was a magical year with Johnny, and we had a pretty good defense then, this was our pass defense. This was it. And a lot of you guys are going to look shocked. This was our pass defense. 109th in the country. And that defense was still ranked I think number 29. It was still top 30 in the country. 109th in pass defense, though. We gave up that year 19 touchdowns. The only thing that put us in some good spots were the interceptions that we had and the amount of touchdowns that we gave up that year. The 2021 season, and I want you guys to listen to this. The amount of touchdowns that we had gave up this year, 13. 13 passing touchdowns, that is it. We have 12 games in the regular season. Yes, and Denver Harris, of course, I didn't forget him. I'm sorry, just to jot that on out there. But yes, Denver Harris. Just the reason why we have Denver Harris now. And this is the reason to why Tony Mitchell, and as well as another guy in the 2023 class from the state of Alabama as well, they both put us in their top 10. Tony Mitchell has us in his top 5. I believe when it's all said and done, Tony Mitchell will commit to Texas A&M. Okay, I honestly do believe that. But and both of those guys are 5-star cornerbacks, by the way. All right, so this is the reason to why so many corners, elite corners at that, are putting us in their top 5. Once again, we went from being one of the worst pass defenses in college football, and in the SEC for that matter, to being one of the best pass defenses in college football. Last year, this pass defense ranked at number 17. So which cornerback will step up? Which freshman corner will get his chance to shine? First and foremost, if I was to put up a poll right now, Denver Harris would win that, hands down. And I'm just going to let that be known. It will be Denver Harris. Denver Harris will come in and he will be one of the shining pieces, okay? He will undoubtedly have a stellar freshman year, just like Jaleel Jones did. I honestly can say that, and I honestly believe that. I believe in the spring game, he's going to get a couple of reps because he's a freshman and he needs that. But at the same time, I believe that Jaleel Jones will teach him everything he needs to know because he worked at that position for 2 years. And now I believe Jaleel Jones is going home. Okay? What do you mean by that? Jaleel Jones is going home to his position in which he was ranked a 5-star recruit. He's going back to the safety spot. I honestly believe that. And if Jaleel Jones goes back to the safety spot, we have a chance to be one of the premier pass defenses in all of college football. And we're talking about top 5. We have a chance to be the top 5 passing defense. If we get into the season and we're the top 5 passing defense, going up against the likes of Miami, and after that going up against Arkansas, which will be the real SEC test, that will be our first SEC game. For the ones that did not know, Arkansas is our first SEC game of the 2022 season. If we get up to Arkansas and we're the number 5 or even number 10 pass defense and nobody is injured, I believe Arkansas will be in for a long day. At the same time, I told y'all that I believe this defense this year will be better than the defense of last year. The defense of last year was number 23 in the country. That's our highest defensive ranking in the last decade. I feel so good about this defense coming in this year to where I believe that they want to break that record. I mean, they want to break that number. They don't want to be number 23. They want to be number 10 or even better, or at least top 15. Okay, so that says a lot, and that's putting a lot on them. But those guys want that challenge. All right, what's going on to everybody in the comments? Pops, you can talk about Texas A&M baseball debate. Pops, can you talk about the Texas A&M baseball debate? So I will tell you this here to Bunny, what is that? Bunny 404. First off, howdy. This is my first ever time seeing you in here. You've either been in here watching a couple of these videos or this is your first ever time coming. I thank you for being in here. However, I do have a video that's coming out on Monday about the baseball team and the basketball teams, okay? So trust me, guys, when I told you that my time is set for 1:15 going forward, I mean what I say. Monday through Friday, 1:15 to be exact, and everything is already scheduled. I have to go in and I have to make a couple of more things as well and boost my schedule to fill all of next week, okay? So you can go ahead and book it for Monday, and that's when I'll start talking about baseball, okay? So please, if you just want to go ahead and sit on in here and listen about football, in which I know you're probably a football fan as well, you can sit and listen, but you can also come back on Monday when I talk about the baseball and the basketball team, okay? So also at the same time, I will be getting out of town this weekend. I'll be back in San Antonio again, and which is my second home. I love that little city for whatever reason, me and my wife. So we're going to go out there, and it's a lot of Aggies in San Antonio, man, believe it or not. So we're going to go out there for a little bit over the weekend. Hopefully I'll get a chance to watch the basketball game and the baseball game, hopefully, because I think baseball comes on tonight. So I know for sure I get a chance to watch that, and my wife can sit on the couch and look at me crazy because I'm watching baseball, and she, oh my God, you're gonna watch this too? Yes, I am. But I will be back on Monday, and I will talk about the baseball game. Okay, so I believe that the Aggies have a legitimate shot at making well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I believe the Aggies have a legitimate shot at having a hell of a baseball record this year. Not saying that we're going to win it all, but they have a hell of a shot at making it inside the not inside the World Series thing. I cannot think of what you call that before the World Series, but they have a legitimate shot of getting there. I know that for sure. Okay, and the recruiting that Slosh is doing, that is unbelievable. To be honest with you, it looks like he's taking what Jimbo Fisher did and using it in baseball. I'm going to be dead honest with you. But at the same time, Sloss is doing his own thing. And Sloss is a well-known baseball coach. He's a well-known baseball coach. So he's going to do whatever he has to do to bring in the best players from all over the country, not just Texas. He's bringing them in from all over. That's what I love about it. This is the reason to why I say what I say about Buzz Williams. I believe Buzz has to start picking up that recruiting effect, and he has to start bringing in players from all over the country. All right, not just stay in one state. He has to start bringing them in from all over. All right. Excuse me. All right, so I saw somebody say, how you feel about Anthony Hill? I believe Anthony Hill is one of the more purest linebackers, probably in a long time. Now, Hal Perkins, by all means, he is a one-of-a-kind linebacker, okay? So the thing about Hal Perkins was this, and this is why people sought out to get him. Hal Perkins was a linebacker, but an athlete at the same time. Hal Perkins was also once in a generation. He's a once-in-a-generational type of linebacker. That's why he was the number 5 overall player in the country, the number 1 linebacker in the country, of course. But he is a generational talent at that position. Once again, the play that got me, in which I've never seen before, was that the guy was going to literally throw the ball. Hal Perkins got through the line so quick in like point-some seconds, took the ball from out of the guy's hand. I mean, the guy went up and threw it, and Hal was right there, and he got it, grabbed it, took off running to the end zone. That's a once-in-a-generational type of linebacker, and if he continues to have his head on right, he will be a first-round pick. No doubt about it. But this is the reason to why we wanted him so bad. Hey, we didn't get him. He's at LSU. It is what it is. Anthony Hill, on the other hand, Anthony Hill is a pure linebacker. That's that. Is it once in a generation? Do not know that yet. So we have to really, really honestly sit down and look at how the way he plays that position. But as of right now, he's a true linebacker. Okay, he doesn't play all over the field. He's just a true linebacker in his position. He's going to make tackle. If you run at him, he's going to make tackle. That's just that. That's the reason to why he's a 5-star. And To be honest with you, he should move up to probably the 10th best player in the nation when it's all said and done. Now, do I think that A&M has a legitimate shot at getting him? Yes, I do. I believe we will be on this board, and I believe at the end of the day he will commit to Texas A&M. I believe a lot of people will commit to Texas A&M, and not only that, Texas A&M is making it very, very hard for people to say no. That's what I love about this staff that's on hand. They're making it so hard for people to say no. All right. I see Eric once again. I think Silla going to make a bigger impact than we think, man. I love his length. That's true. But at the same time, I don't think he'll make his impact until the end of the season because he's coming in so late. You got to remember, it's a lot of guys that's already there. I know Chamar Stewart is coming in late. I know Walter Nolan is coming in late. But it's already guys that's there that's willing to step up and make that impact. One guy that you cannot take your eyes off of on the defensive line is Gabriel Brown-Lodendi. I believe when he gets his chance, in which they will use him in a rotation of starts, he will be a dominant defensive lineman. The next guy that's already up though is Chamar Stewart. Chamar Turner. He's already there. Chamar Turner undoubtedly plays like a 5-star defensive lineman already. He doesn't need a lot of time to do what he's doing. He plays like a 5-star defensive lineman. I've seen it in that first 2 games, and he will come back out because now he has his full shot at starting, to be a legit starter, and he will be a beast. What about Anthony Lucas? See, it's a lot of guys that you guys are asking me about. What about Anthony Lucas? Anthony Lucas will get his chance as well, as he's there early. He's enrolled early, along with a couple of more other guys. But you have to remember, these guys are behind so many people on that defensive line, in which I believe they took a gamble as opposing to, no, we want to come and we're willing to sit back. Okay? So Anthony Lucas, I'm not going to say he's going to be a starter, but he will be in the second team rotation, which is the B team. He will be in that second team rotation, okay? But you guys have to remember that we have Elijah Jeudy. Do not sleep on Elijah Jeudy. That is one of my favorite defensive linemen alongside Fidel Diggs. That is one of my that's my favorite defensive line, period, Fidel Diggs. Don't ask me why I like Fidel Diggs so much, because I don't know how I just fell in love with Fidel Diggs on that line, but Fidel Diggs, he may just be a once-in-a-generation defensive lineman that was not a 5-star recruit. You guys have to know that. And I know we're getting off the subject about cornerbacks here, and we're going to get back to that in just a minute. But Fidel Diggs will make it very, very hard for an offensive lineman to stay on his block. He will do that. Once again, don't forget about Fidel Diggs. I know you guys already know him, but you guys cannot forget about Elijah Jeudy as well. If you guys have not seen a tape on Elijah Jeudy, you need to look at that, because Elijah Jeudy will come in and he will make an impact as well. I'm telling you guys this, and walking into that 2022 season, I'm going to bring this up again, and a lot of you guys are going to be looking for Elijah Jeudy. That's what I want you guys to do. Fidel Diggs be right there, okay? But there's a lot more guys on the defensive line that a lot of you guys have forgotten about. Like I say, Fidel Diggs is one. Also, McKinley Jackson. McKinley ain't going anywhere. He's still on the defensive line. He's not going anywhere at all. Okay, so he's still there. Like I say, man, we have a lot of holes to fill on this defensive line, and we can only get better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to the cornerbacks. And a lot of you guys are forgetting that we have a legitimate shot at getting Labius Overton as well. We have a shot at getting Labius Overton, which is another 5-star defensive lineman that reclassified. We also have a shot at getting his brother. I believe Jimbo Fisher will offer them both. I believe he'll sit there and he'll probably wait till April, see who's all going to offer him and things like that. And I think Jimbo Fisher step in at the last moment, because timing is everything. I believe he'll step in and he'll be like, all right, come on, man. Come on. Tell your brother to come on too. Come on. Shoot. Y'all get your behinds on out there, man. Show me what you got. These are all first-round talents. And if we get another 5-star defensive lineman, that will make 1, 2, 3, 4 5-star defensive linemen in one class. I've never, ever seen that before. Never. I've never seen that. LJ Johnson at running back. See, this is what I'm saying. I will have episodes all throughout the week, people. We will break down every position. I love how you guys are just throwing this all out there. We will break down every position, and even a tight end position, in which I involved them in a wide receiver position when I was talking about that. I will break down all positions. The offensive line position is the one that's going to be the most intriguing. That is going to be very, very intriguing. I would save the best for last, and you guys know what I'm talking about when I say I would save the best for last. And don't look at me crazy, because I know a lot of you guys are looking at me crazy right now. The quarterback position. That's going to be the last thing that I'll discuss. All right? Because it should be a lot of you guys in these lives. It should be a lot of eyeballs like, oh, he's talking about the quarterback. Man, it's going to be interesting. Let me see this. And it will be. Because when I talk about it, I'm going to be thinking about it myself. All right? So, anywho, so let's talk about this here. So let me get back into this cornerback position here. So let me break down the roster for the cornerbacks, okay? Like I say, man, let's go ahead and get on back into it. So let me break down this roster. All right, here we go. So, defensive backs. Where are you at, defensive backs? This is what we're looking at. All right, here we go. So, this is what we're looking at here. Kendrick Carper. I don't believe Kendrick is gone anywhere yet. We have Tyreek Chappelle. Of course, you guys need to hear about him. Brian George. This is the reason to why I say we should have the best defensive back room in the country in 2022. This should be a no-fly zone. What I mean by no-fly zone, it should not be any passes going over 20 yards in the backfield. It should not. We should shut down every 20-yard pass there is. All right? So Brian George is back there. Jordan Gilbert is a guy you guys keep on forgetting about. I can tell you one person who hadn't forgot. Jordan Gilbert hadn't forgot that he's on this team. Jordan Gilbert is still good. It's I don't know what. He's good, man. He is one of the more phenomenal safeties that's out there. He just ain't got a shot yet. He ain't got a shot. He's another one that's sitting back waiting, and he's willing to wait. He is willing to wait. He's not going to transfer. I hate when people start talking about transfer. Oh, man, they're going to transfer. They're going to transfer. He is not transferring. Nobody is transferring anytime soon. Come back to me after the spring game, and I will make this bet before the spring game. Nobody is going to transfer like that we didn't already say was going to transfer. I know some of these wide receivers are going to transfer. That's just that. A lot of them going to transfer. The one person who I said that was going to transfer was Ezekiel Jones. That's a wide receiver. I know for sure that he's going to transfer probably. Now, if he doesn't, he's going to shock me. And now I legitimately know that Ezekiel has said to himself and to others, no, man, I'm a playmaker. You get me back out here. And, excuse me, and Ezekiel wants to be a key piece to this team. He wants to be a key piece as to why our record is the way it is in 2022. You know? So, let's keep going here. Deuce Harmon, freshman, defensive back. He's not going anywhere, people. Antonio Johnson is the one that played in the nickel. All right, Jaleel Jones, like I said before, I believe he will move back to his respective position. Miles Jones is coming back. Miles Jones is so quiet, though. This is going to be his 5th year. This is Miles Jones' 5th year now. Is he the 5th or 6th year? We have one of the more veteran defensive backfields in all of the country. So when it comes to when they put out these later rankings and who has the best defensive back room, A&M will be in the top 5. And I'm going to say it once again. A&M will be in the top 5 so far as defensive backs is concerned. You have never, ever seen that before. Never. Not since we've been in the SEC. All right. You have not seen that in a legit long time. All right, so let's keep on going. Samuel Matthews, I don't know who that may be. Please forgive me on that. I hope the young fella don't get mad at me. Leon O'Neal, he's gone. Damani Richardson, you guys can't forget about him, in the safety part. Brian Williams, you cannot forget about him as well. Eric Young is gone. Alex Zettler, I don't know who that is. Tyler Butis, I'm not sure who that is. Kyle Fitzgerald, not sure who that may be. Kay Garcia, never heard of him. Avery Hughes, never heard of that guy neither. Caleb Morrell. See, I believe that most of these guys are like walk-ons. Now, Josh Moot, that's the guy that's going to be under the radar. Now, if I'm looking back on it right, I believe he may have been the guy that got hurt in the spring game. But Josh Moot, don't sleep on Josh Moot. He's another one that was a 4-star defensive back. Once again, don't sleep on Josh Moot. Okay? I'm going to tell you this one. Don't sleep on him. All right? So he will be another one that should be pretty good out there. Dre Norwood, of course, we all know that he transferred to Arkansas. Will Smoot, I don't know who that may be. And Caleb Subbard. I'm not sure who that may be. So, of course, we all know who the added pieces were in the 2022 class with the likes of Bobby Taylor, Denver Harris, Marquise Kilgrew, Smoke Bowie. All 4 of those guys who I just mentioned right there, all of them are enrolled right now. I mean, every single last one of them are enrolled right now. Oh, except Smoke Bowie, I believe. He's the only one that's not enrolled right now. But other than that, all 3 of them are at Texas A&M at the moment. And they're getting ready for that spring game. And that spring game couldn't be any more hype than what it already is right now. If I'm not mistaken, because I'm not going to be at the spring game this year, that spring game should look like Nebraska's spring game. If we're that serious about this year, like we always are about every year, that spring game should look definitely like Nebraska. Yes, Bryce Anderson and Jacoby Matthews. How do I keep on forgetting about those two? But that spring game should look definitely like Nebraska's spring game. Is it going to sell out like Nebraska's spring game? No, I did not say that. But it should look definitely like Nebraska's spring game, to say the least. All right. So, man, I love how the way all of you guys in these comments and just comment. So let me read one of these. Terry Williams, shout out to you. Can't wait for these breakdowns, J Pops. Hey, I'm bringing it all out, man. I'm throwing it all out there. I told you guys that when I was going to be back, baby. I was going to be back. James Ellis, shout out to you as well. I hope Jaleel Jones moves to safety so we can keep Johnson at nickel. One starter will be Chappelle, and I think Smoke Bowie would surprise and become the starter midway through the season. If you think that, I'm all the way down with it. The difference between Smoke Bowie and everybody else on the field is that Smoke Bowie is one of the fastest defensive backs that you will see in the entire country. When I tell you that he will chase somebody down, and if you give him a legitimate shot, Smoke Bowie is going to intercept the hell out that ball. He is going to intercept it, and when he catches it, you may as well get out the way because it's going to run it back for a touchdown. All right, so Terry Williams, agreed, defensive backs are stacked. Yes, they are. Jacoby Matthews, Bryce Anderson, like I had just read. Yes, these are all the guys that are inside of that class. All right, so that's it for the roster. Let me tell you about a couple of these guys that we have on the radar for the 2023 class so far as defensive backs are concerned. All right, so the defensive line side that you guys already know, and he's our number one priority, is David Hicks. David Hicks probably is going to be the number 1 and number 2 player in the country, just like Walter Nolan. The difference with this one is that David Hicks is from our own backyard. He's from Allen, Texas out there. I heard a lot of you guys say that you all have seen David Hicks play, and he's that damn good. So I believe you on that because I, too, have watched his video, and that guy is unstoppable. So I'm not going to lie to you. I believe David Hicks will be another one of our commitments for the defensive line side. Man, you can never have too many defensive line. I would just say that. All right. So Tony Mitchell is another one that's one of our biggest targets. And the reason why he's our biggest target is because if you've seen Tony Mitchell play on his highlight videos, Tony Mitchell is damn good. He is damn good, man. If you go and watch that, he's very underrated with his size because he's only 6'2", 180. But what he can do so far as locking up a wide receiver is undoubtedly good. Once again, I believe Tony Mitchell is in that category of being a once-in-a-generation type of player at that position. You put him and Denver Harris on the field together, as long as others that are already out there that's veterans, you're talking about A&M getting closer to a national title than what you may have already thought. I'm just telling you now, seriously, man. You can put them in the playoff conversation, New Year's Six Bowl, everything. It's nobody that's getting past that pass defense, and it's nobody that's getting past our defensive line. All right, so guys can go ahead and book that. So that's one corner that's on our board. This is the second guy, and he has us in his top 12. Jaleel Hurley. When would he be making his? He's another 5-star. He's number 22 in the country, and he's from Alabama as well. When they said that the state of Alabama was stacked this year, they meant just what they said. The state of Alabama is stacked. All right. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say it's stacked, so far it's like Texas is stacked, but no, they are stacked, though. They have a lot of 5-stars in Alabama this year that are coming out, in which I haven't seen before. So, you guys just have to keep that in mind. Another cornerback is Malik Muhammad. He's from South Oak Cliff. If you guys can remember, Oak Cliff won the 6A or 5A Division II state title last year. But he's coming from Dallas, Texas out there. Another corner is Jvm Thomas. He's another one from South Oak Cliff, from Dallas, Texas out there. That's crazy, man. I'm seeing South Oak Cliff. Like, if you guys can remember what happened back then in Dallas, that was the school. It was South Oak Cliff. They went through all of that stuff like that, man. I believe it was South Oak Cliff, or it was another one. It was one of them. Another corner is Jordan Matthews from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He has us also in his top 3. I'm going to have to get on my Twitter and send something out to him because, hey, man, look, we love getting kids from the state of Louisiana. I can tell you that. All right, so let me answer one more question, and we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here because almost 2 o'clock. We've been running pretty long. All right, so another one out there, Bonnie 404 again. Can we get Archie Manning? Hell no. Look, man, I'm going to say this once again. Hell no. He is not. Look, Arch Manning haven't even much looked this way at Texas A&M, man. I'm sorry. Now, I believe if we was legitimately to throw him a scholarship, in which we did not offer Arch Manning. Believe it or not, we did not send Arch Manning a offer. And Jimbo Fisher's not going to send him an offer. That's just that. He had this quarterback for 2023. He has Eli Holston. He believes Eli Holston is one of the best of the best. And from us looking at it, Eli Holston is one of the best in Louisiana. Maybe the best. Well, Arch Manning is out there in Louisiana. So I think he may just be the second best to Arch Manning out there in the state of Louisiana. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if they move Eli Holston up to a 5-star when it's all said and done. All right, so he may not be a top 25-star, but he'll be right in that range of probably like Conor Wegman, like 25, 26, maybe just right at the borderline, the last 5-star it is in 2023. I believe so. So, no, we wouldn't. No, we don't have a shot at getting Arch Manning. I'm sorry. Arch likes the blue bloods of college football, in which he should, but That's who he's sticking with. He wants to go with either Alabama, Georgia, Texas. Um, I believe LSU is now entered the chat and some other program, man. But hell, he doesn't even much have Ole Miss nor Tennessee in his schools, and that's where his family resided at. So he doesn't have any of those guys in there. But no, we don't have a shot at Arch Manning. I'm sorry. And we would not offer Arch Manning because, to be honest with you, man, we don't need him. We don't. It is what it is. Liz Hurst. I love Brian George when he's on the field. You know it. He's all over the field. Love it. Can't wait for the season to begin. I'm right along with you. I like Brian George as well. It's just a simple fact of, can Brian George and Miles Jones stay healthy? Okay? So that's all I have for you guys on today. Once again, it's TGIF. I love all of you. I will be back on Monday, people. I'll be back on Monday, okay? We're going to start being off on the weekends, just like we need to be. So no podcast over the weekend. It's going to be strictly Monday through Friday. Some Fridays I may not have one, but I will have them Monday through Thursday, unless something, comes up and changes that. All right, so I love all of you guys. #GigaMags.